What's up, guys? Today we're taking a look at the units in All-Star Tower Defense with the highest, biggest damage ever. So it's gonna be pretty insane, guys, and let's just say some of these units you guys are not going to expect. Like, some of them I didn't expect either, so let's hop right into it. All right, so starting off this list, we have the one and only Rimuru. Now, I know you guys are probably surprised that Rimuru's on this list, and I was kind of too, but if you take a look at Rimuru's damage, it gets pretty insane. I'm not gonna lie, guys. It gets all the way up to a 6.9 million damage. Like, for a 6-star unit, that's pretty crazy. Now, again, you used to be able to place all 8 of her, but now they limited her placement to 4. As you guys can see, there can only be 4. So unfortunately, they did nerf her back in the day, but 6.9 million is insane, and that's with no buff. With buff, guys, that's like 20 million damage. That's crazy. All right, and of course, she actually doesn't have that bad of AoE, and of course, you can place 4, which is really, really insane. And for this list, we are not factoring in SPA. All we care about, guys, is the biggest damage number we can get. So let's go sell out Rimuru and check out our next unit. So next up, guys, we have something that nobody's going to be surprised about. We have Guts. Now, not only is Guts really good for damage, if we take a look and upgrade it all the way to the top. All right, his damage goes up to... Whoa, it keeps going. 12.2 million. What a jump. But he also has full AoE. All right, as well as he's also a rupture unit as well, meaning that his DPS is way higher than it would seem. And for this reason, Guts is, I believe, the highest DPS unit in the game still, if not one of the top. And he's definitely the top if you bring Griffith 6-star. Now, Griffith 6-star should have been on this list, but unfortunately, I don't have him, so I can't show it to you. But he is actually a little bit higher damage than Rimuru. So let's sell it. And next up, guys, we have Ichigo. Now, a lot of people probably aren't surprised to see Ichigo on this list, but he actually does have higher damage than Guts. But look at that, guys, 24.6 million. Actually, guys, that is literally double Guts' damage, which is crazy. Honestly, like, the damages just keep doubling. We have like 6 million damage, and then we have 12 million damage, 6 million, then 12 million, then 24.6 million. And then, I mean, also he isn't really full AoE as well, but actually, if you awaken him, I believe his damage goes up as well. So he's at like 26.8 million now, which is crazy. Crazy DPS. Crazy damage. But of course, guys, damage isn't the full story, and DPS-wise, these are obviously not the best. All right, next up, we have Broly. Now, Broly is another not really surprising one. Everybody knows he comes with that big boy damage. So if we take a look at Broly's damage, it is 31.9 million, which is actually only slightly more than Ichigo's, which is kind of crazy. And he actually has a way worse SPA as well. So there you go. There's Ichigo's damage. And then we have kind of a controversial pick. Now, I put Kirito up here. Now, the thing is, Kirito actually does more damage. I bring the wrong Kirito. Oh my gosh, guys. Wow, well, Kirito's 7-star actually does more damage because of his crit ability, but we didn't really count that because it's not really his base damage or an ability damage. But his damage is higher than you think. Next up, guys, we have Alien Boss, Boros. Now, everybody knows Boros is insane damaging, guys. 81.6 million. Now, he is actually the highest damage unit of base damage, not counting abilities. All right, he has 81.6 million, and he's actually also the highest one that hits airs, not counting abilities. So he's a pretty great unit, but unfortunately, what makes him suck is his SPA. But as far as highest damage is concerned, this man is basically one of the GOATs. And now let's go take a look at the other units. Now, these units are all, I believe, ability damage units. So their damage is pretty insane, but it's all based on abilities. All right, here we go. Next up, guys, we have the legend, Light Yagami. This guy is like the king of gauntlet mode, and he starts with 164 million. Don't forget, though, to equip his orb, otherwise he sucks. So get the next upgrade. 492 million damage without any buffs. If you buff him, he goes up to like 1.72. He's, and of course, works on the ability. Now, he is nice because all the other units on this list, you can't actually reuse their abilities, but this guy you can. But unfortunately, that also means he has one of the lowest damages out of all the ability units. So the next best ability unit we have is Yugi. Now Yugi does do 5 billion, so that's way more, and he doesn't require any buffs or anything. And honestly, his damage isn't even that bad, guys. 8.45. Like, that actually gets it higher than Rimuru, so that's not bad at all. And the SP is also very nice. So he's kind of an underrated unit. So 5 billion damage from Yugi, but of course, guys, you have to keep drawing cards, and it's honestly very annoying to use. So after Yugi, we have our next bad boy, which is Goku and Vegeta. Now, these guys are supposed to be the best in the game, but I tested their ability, and unfortunately, it does not do the amount of damage as promised. It was supposed to be doing 10 billion damage, but in every single video I've tested it, these two guys are actually only doing 5 billion damage. And how their ability works is every time it kills an enemy, it will charge up this energy bomba attack. So the more enemies it kills, the more it charges. And I believe it doesn't matter if you charge it over 100%. That's irrelevant. All that matters is you get to 100% and then you can use it. And of course, guys, it is also a one-time ability. So make sure you guys don't forget that. Even though it looks like it's coming back, it actually is not. All right, next up we have Sid. Now, Sid does 6.5 billion. And the one thing is, and he also has some pretty good normal DPS as well. Not as high as the other base damages, but let's be honest, 9.24 million base damage would actually get him on this list anyway, even without his ability. Now, his ability, the one problem I have with it is it doesn't exactly hit the whole map. I know it says all range, but I believe it actually only hits his range versus the whole map, or maybe his range plus a little bit extra. Because I tested it in World 3, and he did not hit the whole map. So whenever using Ombre, guys, be very careful. Otherwise, you're going to miss out on a lot of things. Or maybe you guys want to use him with Merlin and a good, like, range orb. Otherwise, you're going to accidentally miss a few units, and it's going to ruin your damage farm like you did mine. So it goes 1.72 to 5 billion to 5 billion. Hopefully 10 billion soon, but we'll have to see. And then Sid is 6.5 billion. And then the highest damaging unit, guys, of course, you already know, is Mob at 7.5 billion. Now, another nice thing about Mob is he also does hit those air units. And he also has some pretty insane deep damage straight up, guys. 26.2 million for 12 SPA. Now, he's not really one of the highest DPS units in the game, but he also has a very high base damage. And of course, Esper Rage is very nice because you don't actually have to max him out in order to use Esper Rage. You only need to get him to a decent amount. However, another thing to note, guys, you can only use Mob or Sid. And I'm not sure if you can use one. I think you might be able to only use one of these three, or his might be based off of Pharaoh's. I'm not sure, or his might even be separate. But you can either bring Mob or Sid. You can't bring both because both of their abilities have the same global cooldown. But Pharaoh's is separate. And then this guy, you can just keep using him as much as you want. And one nice thing about this guy is you can actually use him in collaboration with this guy, Eat the Dirt. And if you use him with his ability, it's going to allow you to basically do double it. So you can actually do like close to 4 billion damage with max buffs, etc. with this. And he also recharges, which is pretty freaking sweet. Now, I'm not sure if this guy has a global cooldown that's permanent. Let me double check real quick. Oh, it has like a 1,000 second cooldown. But it does not have global cooldown. And the one other thing that you can't use, guys, is you can't reset it. It will not get reset itself with Eat the Dirt. However, it will work with others as well. So you can have multiple people bring Eat the Dirt and use that together to nuke lots of times. So if everybody brings him and Eat the Dirt, you can be doing billions and billions of damage, and it's going to be freaking insane.